I have in my possession the latest light from Custom Fitz. This is a Bowfishing specific 100 watt warm white LED, 110 volts. Going to be doing something a little bit different in this test. I have fabricated a jig that will allow me to hold the light dead square to the lux meter and also maintain an exact distance away from each other every time I test a light. So we have our light, we have our lux meter, we have a camera to zoom in on the lux meter, an infrared thermometer, and the most important part, the amp clamp. This will allow us to take an amp reading, figure out watts, because now we have segued into a new style of testing where we are trying to figure out what is the most efficient light. I don't care if it's advertised as a 50 watt or 100 watt. I want the most amount of luminance per watt. I think this is going to be the most important factor for bow fishing LEDs. So let's fire her up. And I can tell you that this light is indeed very, very bright. So I will let it warm up for a full 10 minutes, and then I will take a lux reading, an amp reading, and a temperature reading. Okay, now my previous numbers aren't going to be exactly perfectly accurate, since all those will need to be redone now using the jig. However, we were approximately 60 inches away before, as close as I could possibly get it. The jig is set up to be 60 inches away, and we are getting a lux reading on the new school Custom Fitz of 1637. If you recall, a 150 watt HPS was giving out about 1100 lux. So this light is significantly brighter than a 150 watt HPS. Okay, before we can calculate amps, we need a reading of volts. And as you can see here, I am pulling 118.8 volts. So we will use this number to figure out how many watts this light is pulling. 118.8. Okay, the amp meter is telling us that this light is pulling 0.68 amps. So let's do the math. 118.8, that's your voltage. Whoops, 0.8 times 0.68 gives us 80.78 watts. That's absolutely incredible. Brighter than a 150 watt HPS, significantly, yet only pulling 80 watts. Okay, this might actually be the most important test of all, heat. So we went all the way across the back of the light, and it looks like 96 degrees was the hottest spot. So not as cool as the other style Custom Fitz, but still nothing to be concerned about. That is not hot at all. Okay, since we're using a new jig and a new testing method, I thought it prudent to have something to compare to the new Custom Fitz. So I grabbed the ZHMA. I chose this one because it's 100 watts and it's already pre-wired with a plug, so it makes it easy just to compare this. So let's fire it up. Okay, yeah, my numbers aren't crazy. It is pulling 760-ish. Okay, ZHMA, advertised as being a 100 watt light, is actually pulling or showing 723 lux. So less than half as bright as the Custom Fitz. That's crazy. Well, guys, I really don't know what more I can add to this. This light is absolutely incredible. But let's look at the data. So keep in mind that I've only tested 3 lights with the amp clamp for efficiency. And I'm going to retest every light on the board now that we have the jig. So let's focus on the ones that we have tested for efficiency. So let's start with the Ledmo. A pretty decent light given its price point at $27. 574 lux at 56.4 watts. So that's roughly 10 lux per watt. Now if you look at the data for the Custom Fitz, 1638 lux, 81 watts. That's 20 lux per watt. This light is incredibly efficient. I expect those numbers to go up a little bit on the 150 watt HPS when I retest, but it's at 1039 lux versus the 1638 of the Custom Fitz. This light is indeed very, very bright. So let's have a look at the light itself, how it compares to the other 50 watts that I've tested previously. So I'm going to be comparing this to other lights like the Sea Light and the Custom Fits. I put these in a category what I like to call Cadillac lights. They are expensive because they are worth it. But as you can see here, this light is roughly the same size as the 50 watt. So let's get the tape measure. Okay, the new school Custom Fits. Oh, shit. Okay, the Custom Fits measures roughly 12 inches by 8 inches. And the 50 watt Custom Fits is 11-ish inches by 9 inches. So roughly the same size. But what that makes this light really interesting is right here. Look how much deeper the 50 watt is than the 100 watt. The 50 watt measures at roughly 6 inches deep, and the 100 watt is 2.5 inches deep, so it is dramatically shallower. For those guys that like to run those light rails where they tuck their lights inside of them, that's huge, man. You can make your rail much, much shallower. The other thing I'd like to point out is this bracket is Beefy. Might be the nicest bracket I've seen so far. I don't know if you could see this, but it's actually been pressed with some contour, which will make it much, much rigider. So this is the heaviest bracket I've seen on a light yet. I'm really impressed with the bracket. There is no need to replace that bracket. It is awesome. Well, guys, there you have it. I think we can safely say that the bar has been raised dramatically. This light is amazing. Custom Fits has really outdone themselves with this one. So the light is going to retail for $125. However, I've been told if you buy 10 or more that he will drop that price down to $90 per light, which is a very good value given how bright they are. I also want to say thank you to Custom Fits for sending me a light to test. It's absolutely awesome. And I will leave a link to their website in the description. And also check them out on Facebook at Custom Fits LED. Let's visit www.bloodlinebowfishing.com. Also, let's join the BAA. They protect our rights as bow fishermen. And as always, guys, please wear those personal flotation devices while we're on the water. Thank you for watching the video, guys.